Ram full-size trucks have had a very, very good run over the last decade or so. And one of the reasons that cannot and will never be overlooked is the existence of the Ram Classics, or the ongoing production of previous generation trucks. In fact, the sheer existence and volume that truck generated is essentially what enabled, I think, Ram, and even helped FCA, Stellantis in a way, to carry on and move forward with what is coming down the pipeline. Now, I've been thinking about, Ram executives a number of years ago, thinking about what are we going to do as an encore to keep the success of this truck going. Yes, it's still not the best seller in the segment. That always belongs to the Ford F-150, which is fine. But the thing is, they had to come up with something to maintain that momentum. Pricing aside, though they've been revised, they have. What they haven't changed, what they've maintained throughout the last, 4 generations of the Ram, is styling and content. And just a quick glance of this 2025 Ram 1500, you can see it's stunning. And wait till you see the interior. I mean, I have in the past reviewed Ram trucks and essentially said that these are luxury trucks. I mean, they could have just, like a 3-pointed star on the hood and it would work because there's so much attention, especially to the interior. But that's not the point here. The point is, as you well know, the wonderful 5.7 liter Hemi is gone. The 6.4 liter is just about on its way out. And to replace that, well, Ram had to come up with an engine which is shared with other FCA products. And in short, it so works with the projected nature of this truck. I mean, if you can see the trim, top trim, but it's near the top, it so works. It's absolutely incredible. I'll tell you more about that a little bit later. The 3.6 is still available, e-torque for the base trucks, but what also is coming down the pipeline to maintain the momentum is the Ram Charger with the range extender and the Ram fully electric version. Those will be reviews for some other time when they become available, but right now it's this truck. I mean, you can't see it from where you are or from whatever, SST HO. I'll tell you what that's all about. You probably already know, but in short, this truck is still as wonderful as always. Every full-size truck is always a treat, at least 1 week at a time, because despite the new engine, fuel consumption is still catastrophic. But that doesn't even apply. I may not repeat that, and I may or may, I don't know. In the following video, as you very well know, if you've seen at least one other of my videos on Motor Illustrated's YouTube channel, thank you for that. We'll do the walk around inside, and then we're gonna go for a ride in a considerably more powerful truck than previous. Anyhow, please hang in there if you don't mind. I love messing around with these air suspensions, because right now it's in its lowest position, and in the intro it was in its highest position. I don't know, I'm a kid, what can I tell you? Okay, so 2025 Ram 1500, base price in the US for the tradesman, $40,275. Top trim tungsten, which is new, $87,320. In Canada, the base model tradesman is a $58,740. That's with freight and prep included, and the top trim tungsten is a whopping $107,488. Base truck gets at 3.6, as I mentioned, 18-inch wheels. You connect 5 and 8.4-inch touchscreen display. It's all good. This, as I run back quickly, as I was trying to tell you, below the Ram badge, is a limited. Yes, it starts at $93,240. Okay, so just above that, there's a Longhorn, then the tungsten. Okay, so what you get in this trim is you get the full leather interior. You get the included Ram boxes, which are neat and not so neat at the same time if you really need a full-size bed. It's got the inline 6. Okay, so I'll tell you right now. So SST, straight 6 turbo high output. That's what that stands for. I think what Ram is trying to do is make this as cool as Hemi. I don't think it'll work, but who knows? Maybe it will. Okay, so what else we missed? Yeah, we got the active level 4-corner suspension that I just mentioned. It's got the 20-inch wheels, which are really, really nice on this thing. I don't know, there's something about them. They just really, really work. 5.7 foot box is what I have on my testers. A 12.3-inch digital display, 12-inch touchscreen, and a 10.25-inch passenger display. The options I have is the trifold tonneau cover. I have the gate, which I'll show you in a moment, and I have a few other things for a grand total of about $97,500. $97,500. So this is the multi-gate, which I opened as the regular gate. I don't know if you can see in there. Yeah, there's the bed divider. You kind of see that buckle, so you unfold that, and you open it up slightly, and it pulls out of the gaps. So it settles in these little gaps, and then as you open the separators, it actually locks into place. It actually works quite well. The tonneau cover you've seen. So this is the split tailgate. This is kind of a mixed thing. It makes it easier to get in and out of the bed, but because of the setup, there's no actual step. And that's one of the things that's kind of weird with the Ram. See, because of the two-piece, there's no actual step like I had, say, the Silverado or an F-150. And there are no bumper steps on the side either, or even by the running boards. I'll just do this right now. No power running boards, but if you close the door, eventually they'll go back in. I guess you can stand on them and kind of offset that or cut it off. But beyond that, this is the optional white color too, tri-coat. I mean, it is a unbelievably handsome truck. You can get body colored bumpers, but the chrome works so well. The grille it's just awesome. It's such a good looking truck. I don't really know what else to say as far as that's concerned, but let's just go for one final lap. Keep me out of the shadow. And it looks good when it's squat like that. It also looks good when it's all the way up. But by the way, so that's a max of 4-inch up and down. So it gives you at the top range just 10.7 inches of ground clearance. I guess I could show you the Ram boxes you've probably seen before, but they're kind of neat. Put stuff in there. It'll slide around depending on what you put in, but they can work. But they do obviously impede on the width of the bed. Inside, yeah, the materials. This is actual wood. It's quilted leather. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, well set up. The carpets are gorgeous. I don't have carpets this nice in my house. Rear bench, I could actually squeeze 3 3/4 seats across here, almost. Well, maybe 3.5. But it's massive and it's actually fairly comfortable. Ingress, egress, very easy, obviously. There's just tons and tons of room. USB and US ports, USB, USB-C ports, all you could ever possibly desire and hope for. Again, the touches, the controls, even the recent switch gears, beautiful. And yes, massaging seats, that's right. Speaking of the seats, they're actually really comfortable. The contrast piping is gorgeous. Let's just get in, start it up. So yeah, 12.3-inch display right there. It's actually really nice. I can't complain, but very soon it will be that, yeah, because it was very cold just 2 nights ago. Obviously configurable, different types of layouts. Steering wheel is lovely too. I mean, the spokes are huge, but it works. Your drive modes, stow, auto, tow, sport, all of the above, which is kind of cool. This is how you change gears or lock out gears better. So this is your 12-inch display. There's actually a 14-inch display available as an option. This works out fine. The important stuff is that you have the actual physical HVAC controls on either side and the volume knob. As always, I mean, Uconnect 5 works really, really well, but there are just so many menus. And sometimes if you go through here, comfort, oh, look at that, it's being slow. Yeah, you really got to aim properly if you want the right controls. The massaging function is there. You can also activate by the door, like I showed you on the button. So various settings there. There's your level, well, how you set the level for the suspension, your brake gain for trailering. I mean, it's, yeah, and the trailering system. It's really, I don't know, it's great. Storage is insanely huge all the way down into there. This pulls out, this opens up. I mean, there are so many options, it's just crazy. And just look at that. And this is not even a top trim, it's beautiful. There is a screen, which actually I haven't even set. This is terrible. In the passenger, there you go, it's up. You get navigation and entertainment menus on there. It's a nice trick, I suppose. It's included, so what are you gonna do? Visibility, it's a full-size truck, so you're all the way up in the sky. There's nothing else to say except let's take this for a drive. I forgot to mention, the only thing that would make the cabin better would be a column shifter. The wheel remains and always will be a pain in the butt, especially in like a three-pointed turn. I can't tell you how often I go right past the reverse and into park and well, anyway. And there's no way they can lock that out because they'll never know when you actually want to go in park as opposed to reverse. That is the only flaw on the inside of this truck. The only flaw, for real. Now, I'm going to start with the active four-corner air suspension. It does, by the way, it's only down like 2 psi per tire, so it's not a big deal. The ride quality is epic. Just simply unbelievably epic. Bumps, everything is kind of ironed out. Look, this is still a full-size truck, right? So it's not luxury limousine-like, but again, if this was a Mercedes-Benz truck, there would be no denying that that is a very real possibility. It's crazy how good the ride quality is with the 20-inch wheels. Maybe with the 22s, probably won't be much of an impact, but it is so serene on board this truck. And there's an associated explanation for the serenity on board now. The straight six, it is creamy smooth. It is so quiet. I had a passenger in here who asked me, is this truck electric? And I was like, no, it is not. That is how quiet and luxurious and it's just incredibly nice. So I mentioned the 3.6. There are two versions, the regular output and the high output version of the straight 6 3-liter turbo. The regular numbers are 420 HP, 469 pound-feet of torque, which are very nice numbers. Nothing wrong with that. But when you step up to the high output, which is the same mill you'll find in the new RHO, which is not the T-Rex replacement, but is the T-Rex replacement. So this has the same output as the RHO. And you're looking at 540 horsepower. That was an RS7. I don't know if you heard that. And 521 pound-feet of torque as of 35 or at 3,500 RPM. Those are serious numbers. Obviously, this is a really heavy truck, but when you kick down, holy crap, does it kick back. It's just nuts. Like the first few times, I did not the reason is with the Hemi, you expect a certain amount of noise associated or related to the efforts and, you know, the forward push. This is just, and off you go. It is really amazing. It really ties in beautiful with this luxurious cabin and the comfortable interior. My only mild slight concern is the 8-speed automatic transmission, which functions very, very well, is when you come to a quasi full stop, if that makes any sense, you know, or you drop it down, say 2 kilometers an hour and get back on the throttle, it will very often, if not always, kind of want to downshift just before, like in its programming, it wants to downshift. So it kind of becomes a little jerky at that point. But beyond that, it is as smooth and seamless as the engine and the ride quality. Braking power is really, really good. The only thing is, my tripod just fell, is that you really need to put a lot of weight behind the pedal in order to come to a full stop. That's the only kind of thing, but it's something you get used to and adapt to very quickly. Now, I mentioned fuel consumption, might as well bring it up now. My driving has been split about 50-50, and I am averaging 17.4 to 17.7 liters per 100 kilometers. So any actual real world fuel economy gains over the outgoing Hemi? Yeah, I don't think so. But the power gains are very, very real and incredibly amusing. Let's just put it that way. Okay, when it comes now to selecting your full-size truck, if you're gonna actually use it, which in Canada I'm gonna say about half are being used for what they were initially designed to do, then I wouldn't be too concerned about the Hurricane straight six twin turbo engine. Reliability wise, I still have my ifs and buts about EcoBoost 3.5 liter V6 engine, but if you go with a 5 liter over at Ford or a 5.3, especially a 5.3 over at GM, they're nearly bulletproof and will always deliver absolutely everything you want and need, and they also sound really, really good. But this, oh, there, my tripod just went back. Holy yeah, that's much, much higher than, slightly higher than the posted speed limit. But look, I'm, aerodynamic ride, height achieved, and then just kick down, and I'm in auto mode, I'm not in sport mode. This may explain, in small part, the fuel consumption numbers. Bottom line, this truck is unbelievably nice. Incredibly expensive, but that's the way it is now. That's it.